Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm back with one of my favorite topics to paint, which are bokeh cityscapes. This will be my last kind of like larger painting for a while until June, because I will be going for my summer vacation in a couple of days, and then I think next week I'll have one more premiere, and then I'll just be scheduling my videos till the mid of June, and then I'll be back again with this kind of pieces. So for this painting, I painted the underpainting in a very thin layer of rose red because there's going to be like shades of pink in the sky. So I thought it'll be quite nice for the rose red to kind of peek through the paint. And then right now I'm just painting out my first thin layer to map out the colors of my cityscape, the shapes of the building, so I kind of get like a feel of how it might look at the end of this whole thing. Once I'm done with the first layer, I go in again with the second layer, and I'm kind of just darkening the landscape step by step, layer by layer, because this whole building blocks, they're going to be in dark shades of gray and black, and it can be a little bit intimidating to paint it properly like straight away at first try. So what I like to do is I usually like to go layer by layer, and then I slowly add more details until I'm kind of comfortable, and then with how it's going to look, then I go in with the third layer. So for the sky, I've painted the bright part in portrait tone mixed with a bit of ivory white, and I'm trying to create this gradient from gray to pink to peach. So above that, I add a bit more pink, and I mix it with a bit of rose red, and then I start to mix the light gray in, and at the top part of the sky is going to be rose red mixed with Payne's gray. So the second layer is also where I add a bit more details to the buildings, like I'll try to draw more lines or add a bit more columns to make it look more commercialized. And until now I'm like, okay, this is how it's going to look. I'm painting it with the third layer, and this time we'll be painting it properly. By properly, I mean a generous amount of paint. I'm going to blend it properly as well. So for the sky, I find that it's much easier to kind of create this smooth blended gradient when I use a wider brush and I go back and forth like this. And by doing so, I add a bit of masking tape along the edges so that the paint will overlap, and this speeds up the process so much more, because if you stop halfway without the masking tape, then you can see all the thick paint around the edges of the building. So now you get a nice smooth gradient and an easy job. Then I peel off the masking tape and I start to work on the buildings. So like the second layer, you can see all these lines still look pretty rough, so I paint kind of properly over it for the second layer, and this time I'm using a bit of black so you can see the contrast and it looks visibly much more darker. So for this building, the ones with the black and gray columns, I use a masking tape. So it makes it so much easier for me to paint a straight line across, a straight black line across, and then a thin gray line to separate the columns. Once that is done, I use an angular brush and I divide this into 5 blocks by drawing a line downwards. I should have used a ruler and measured it out because it's not very even, but it's okay because it's supposed to be like a blurry background anyway. Right now I'm just kind of refining everything as I go, and like this part here, I've decided to change it to a darker shade of brown, and in the middle I paint it in a lighter shade of brown, so you kind of have this glow in between the columns. This is what I feel are one of the advantages of painting layer by layer, because it allows so much room for flexibility to do any changes along the way. You can pretty much tweak it as you go until it reaches its final form. So anyway, we're working on the last block of building here, and this is very similar to the one on the left with the masking tape, so I've just kind of fast forwarded that. And then we're working on the roads right now. It's going to be a lighter shade of gray in the middle, and this part here, which is the divider, I mix gray with pink. And now it's one of my favorite parts, so we're going to blur the whole background. So I start with the easy part first, which would be the outline of all the buildings. Then what we do is we will take the color of the building, and we're going to mix it with the color of the sky, whichever part that will be, the light part and the dark part. And we're going to kind of blend the edges of it so it has this soft look, and we're going to round all the sharp corners so it has this soft rounded edge. Once we finish the outline of the buildings, then we're going to work on the details inside the building. So every line and everything that is kind of separated from each other or a different color, we're going to use the same technique to blur it. I use a size 00 brush for this so I can get each of the lines and all the little nook and crannies. So for example, this building here is a mixture of gray and black for all the little columns. So I go in and I blend each column, each line, and I kind of fade it so that now you get this blurry look instead of the sharp lines for the buildings. You can see the contrast from the left and the right building. Continue to do this until the whole landscape is blurred out. Then you can see there's no sharp lines separating anything. It's kind of blended into like one little gradient, so it has that very blurry look and nothing stands out too much. Then you will be finished for this part, and then we'll go and move on to the highlights. The reason I like to paint it dark first is because when I add the glow of light, like for example these are, I want to add an orange glow so that will indicate light is shining upon it. Then these orange kind of glow highlights will look a lot more visible on a darker background. Once that is done, I'm going to add my favorite part, which are the bokeh lights. So for these lights, I'm drawing them a bit smaller, so it looks like as if they are kind of further away behind. I'm using white, but mostly in warm tones like orange, yellow orange, pastel orange, and a few red circles here and there. So right now I'm just mapping out where all the light will be or where the bokeh circles will be, and then I'm going to paint the second layer over the circles. Today I thought of trying something a little bit different, and I'm going to blur the bokeh circles as well so it looks even blurrier and more kind of like a much softer background. So by doing so, what I'm doing is I'm mixing gray and the color of the bokeh circle. For example, if it's white, then I mix gray with white and I paint over the around the bokeh circle. And if it's orange, I mix gray with orange and then I paint around the bokeh circle. So you have this like a little halo effect around the circle, and you can see that it looks so much softer. Just for comparison's sake, you can see the ones on the left, they are all blurred out, and on the right I'm just blurring them out, but for the ones that are not blurred out yet, then you can see the difference of it. And now for the finishing touch, you know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a flower and a butterfly. I just could not resist. I thought a lot about this, to be honest. I think maybe a red rose and an orange butterfly would blend into the whole landscape a lot better, like more harmonious. But I also want this flower to look a bit out of place. That's why the title was like an introvert's point of view, because sometimes you just feel out of place in like a big crowd or something, and that's kind of what I wanted to portray in this painting. So I've decided to go with a totally different set of colors, which are purple tulips and blue butterflies. Anyway, I hope you like this painting. I actually liked how it turned out. I was a bit skeptical in the beginning as well when I was trying to draw these columns and the buildings in the background, but after blurring it in and also softening the bokeh circles, I actually like how this turned out, and I hope you'll find this tutorial useful. This painting is listed on Etsy, so if you're interested to purchase, please click the link in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Goodbye!